Hey guys, so I am back with my very first DIY project. I'm super excited. So today I wanted to do a galaxy pumpkin. So I've always seen these online and like in Pinterest and stuff, and I always wanted to try it, but I never found an easy tutorial or anything that seemed like it was something I was capable of doing. So I decided to try to figure it out myself. I found a way to make it a lot easier and a lot more fun because you're not struggling and upset and worried that you did it wrong. It's super easy, and if you guys want to see how I did this galaxy pumpkin, go ahead and stay tuned.
Hey guys, so for this project you're going to need paper plates, paints, makeup wedges, some glitter, and also a old toothbrush, some rhinestones if you want, and of course extra glitter. So first we're going to take our Scotch tape and just go around the edges of kind of where we want to make our border of our galaxy. Now I will say this is totally optional. You don't have to make the borders. I just thought it would look kind of cool having the kind of sharp edges on it. And also when you start painting, I know in some of the tutorials that you see on Pinterest, they use black paint. I did try this with black paint and I did not like how it came out. So I decided to go for an off-white paint so I didn't waste my purely white paint, and I feel that it worked great. So after coating our pumpkin twice, I go ahead and I start prepping all my paints and my wedges to start painting. Any kind of old way will do just fine. When you start, it doesn't really have to be a pattern or anything. There's no special way to apply these. You just keep dabbing on paint and paint. Just try not to wipe. Make sure to dab, because if you wipe, you probably will have the problem with it making the white paint underneath soft and wipe off the pumpkin, and that's not what we want. We want to make sure that we have nice, bold, and layered paint so it's really bright and really pops out once we start putting the black paint on. So once we pretty much have a tie-dye looking type of pumpkin, we want to go ahead and start applying our black paint. So what I do first is look at where I have basically blank spaces, and that is where I apply my first layer of black paint. So as you can see, I have built up the layer of black paint, and then I just want to take a fresh wedge. I usually don't cut it, and I use that to help me start to really blend this black paint out and start to blend it in with the other colors. So what I start to do at this point is I still go in with my brighter colors and layer a couple of times, but you will see me go in more often with my black paint as well as that very dark blue paint on top of each other. I found that it really helped to kind of give it a little more of a deep space type of look as opposed to just being on a completely black background. And I think overall in the end it really paid off to mix the dark blue and the black together, and I just layered them and then would layer the black on top, so it still looked pretty dark but it had that dark deep blue still in there. So once I've blended it out till I'm basically satisfied, I wanted to use an old toothbrush and take some of my white paint and flick it on the top layer of mixed paint there to give it the illusion of little stars. It worked out really well, just it could be a little messy, so if you're doing this with kids, it might be better if the adult does it, because I am an adult and I will say I still made a mess. But luckily, that is why we buy easy to clean up paint, because with doing this, you really can't control where it goes, but it looks really great. And after that, I also decided to draw on some really noticeable stars, which we will actually be putting our rhinestones on. So all I do, as you see, is just take the edge of a nice flat paintbrush, and just kind of lay it on instead of trying to paint it. Just let the brush do the work for you to make a really simple yet cute star. So basically from here you can add whatever you want onto your galaxy. I added a couple of constellations and a couple of shooting stars and little galaxies and stuff like that. I thought this is what makes it really fun and customizable and unique. So I also decided to make a couple of glitter planets. So I just simply took some craft bond glue and a very small paintbrush, and I was able to just make a couple of little planets, a couple of little swirlies, and I was even able to somehow make a ring around one of my planets. So as long as you take your time doing this, it's actually pretty easy. And in order to control the glitter while doing this, I decided to use my cap of my glitter for most of it to just pour it in there and lightly dab it on top of the glue. So for my last extra special little doodad that I did to my pumpkin was I decided to make little galaxies. So all I did was just take the craft glue and kind of smear it on there a little bit, and I actually mixed two of the colors. So like for one I would do purple and gold, or I would do purple and blue, and I would just lightly put that on, put a few dots of white paint, and use the sponge to kind of dab it out, and it really gave it the illusion of being a galaxy.
Okay, so after about a good hour or so of doing this pumpkin, I am super excited. I want to see what the edges look like, and then we will be all done with our pumpkin. So if you can kind of see where the line is, just gently try to go along that instead of just peeling it off, because then that might happen. The pumpkin, she's got hiccups. You got to the hiccups. Aw, that means you're growing. You've never seen a pumpkin. Oh, this is your first pumpkin. You're still hiccuping. This is her first pumpkin. She wasn't around yet. She's gonna be 1 year old in about 2 weeks. Aw, poor baby. She got the little hiccups. So yes, I am super uber happy with this. I think it came out really good. What do you think?
Yeah, that's good.
Yay! I think this is definitely the pumpkin. And it's kind of crazy because it literally looks like there's a galaxy inside a little old pumpkin. This is not a big pumpkin, you know. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, share this video. I hope that you guys can use this and maybe you can try it with your kids or your nieces or nephews. It is really cool, it's really easy, and you can do it with stuff you pretty much probably already have in the house. So I hope that you guys have a very happy Halloween, and I will see you guys back next week.